Hello, dear friend. This is a commentary on Judges 2021 titled Love and War. Disclaimer, it's a bit graphic because in those days there was no king in Israel and every man did what was right in his own eyes. A little backstory, a certain Levite took a concubine, a wife. However, she cheated on him and then went to live in her own father's house. After 4 months, the Levite decided to go back for his wife, but the Levite would not stay the fifth night, even though he was persuaded by the father-in-law several times. Quick question, what if he had stayed that night? Would she have been raped at Gibeah? Surely there would not have been the need to spend the night at Gibeah if he had stayed that night and journeyed back to Ephraim early the next morning. And even on the way, this Levite received counsel from his own servant to spend the night at the first city they encountered, the Jebusite city. It was a Canaanite tribe. Oh, but God forbid a Levite would have anything to do with a heathen. Remember the statement of the woman at the well to Jesus. She said that Jews had no dealings with Gentiles, so it was a practice from time immemorial. So they journeyed on to Gibeah. After hours at the city square, when they arrived at Gibeah, no one offered them any hospitality. This was their cue to leave. The very red flag they needed to leave the city, because first by law, children of Israel were instructed by the Lord to be hospitable. Leviticus 19:34, Deuteronomy 10:19, he said, "Therefore love a stranger as ye were also strangers in the land of Egypt." So it happened that the wife of the Levite was raped and died at Gibeah. She was offered to be raped by the men of the city of Gibeah. And these were Benjamites, who the Bible describes as sons of Belial. This is sons of evilness, wickedness, immorality. Now, the last time anyone attempted to commit such acts of sacrilege, that is, men having sexual relations with other men, it resulted in death by brimstone, that is, burning sulfur and fire. Following this wicked act by the men of the city of Gibeah, the wife of the Levite dies. He takes her, dismembers her corpse into 12 parts, sending each part to each of the tribes of Israel. And this was almost certainly accompanied by a message explaining what had happened. Now, upon receiving such grave news of what had transpired at Gibeah, the Israelites gather at Mizpah. And Mizpah is a traditional site of tribal assembly to listen to the Levite story and plan a response to the Benjamites. Now, the story of love and war is placed in a section of Judges, illustrating the social and religious chaos that preceded the institution of Israelite kingship. I have a question. Let's go back to Genesis chapter 49 and ask ourselves, what did Israel say about his son Benjamin? What did Jacob prophesy about Benjamin? He said, "Benjamin is a ravenous wolf, in the morning devouring the prey, and at night dividing the spoil." So we know straight from prophecy that Benjamites are not gentlemen. They will devour their prey. So the leaders of the tribes of Israel requested for the Benjamites to deliver those individuals who perform such acts of sacrilege, that justice will be meted out to them. But they refused. And when the men of Israel inquired of the Lord, they too did not inquire and ask the Lord how to solve the matter. You see, they were convinced in their own opinion that even as the Benjamites refused to deliver the culprits, the only way forward was to wage war. Dear friends, what is our take-home message from this story? When you go to the Lord, I pray for you that when you go to the Lord to inquire of a matter, I pray that you have the discernment to ask the right questions. Not just which of the tribes of Israel should go first for war, but whether or not we should even go for war at all. Or how else would the Lord have us solve this matter? You see, the Benjamites were described as men of skilled war. Okay? They were men skilled in war. So by day one of war, 22,000 Israelites were defeated, and they sought the Lord if they should go again. Day 2, 18,000 defeated. Then they sought the Lord with prayer, fasting, weeping. And the Lord said, "Go again, I will give you victory." But by day 3, they were using the same strategy as they used on the first 2 days, the same formation on the front lines as of the first 2 days. But as soon as they changed their strategy, oh, thank God for wisdom. You see, in Proverbs 20, we were admonished that if you solicit good advice, then your plans will succeed. So don't charge into battle without wisdom, for wars are won by skillful strategy. So it's not just about strategy, but skill and wisdom, and not just about being a man of valor, because wisdom is profitable to direct. So inquire of the Lord, what will you have me do? Before, Lord, should I go? You see, the Lord will indulge you in only that which you present before Him. So seek first His will about a matter before you seek whether or not if you have His permission to do what you have already decided. So now a cycle of violence ensues, resulting in the slaughter of many Benjamite men, 25,100, women, children, the slaughter of most of the inhabitants of the city of Jabez Gilead, that is the half tribe of Manasseh, who did not show up at Mizpah or participate in the war, and the kidnapping of young men at Shiloh. And at the end, Israel wept before the Lord for loss of a brother. I hope you're blessed by this message. Cheers.